We always say that dogs are man's best friend, but is man really dog's best friend? There is a viral video floating around the internet claiming that your dog has no idea you are a human, that they think you are just another dog. It sounds funny, but the reality behind that claim is actually a massive psychological shock. Scientists have spent decades decoding the canine mind, and what they have uncovered has completely changed the way we view our best friends. Today, we are going to walk through 16 specific questions that will completely flip your understanding of your relationship with your dog. Does she really love you? Or is it just about the food? Let's find out. 1. Does your dog actually know you are a different species? Let's start with the big one. There is this funny myth that your dog looks at you and thinks, "Wow, that is a really strange looking dog." Maybe they think we are just hairless, two-legged pups who are really bad at hunting. But your pet is much smarter than that. Your dog perfectly understands that you are not a dog and that you never were one. Research has shown that dogs can clearly distinguish between humans, other dogs, and other animal species based entirely on scent and visual cues. In fact, the dog's brain has evolved specialized zones specifically for processing human faces, zones that do not exist in the brains of wolves. This isn't an accident. This is the result of 15,000 to 30,000 years of coevolution. They have literally rewired their brains to understand us. So no, your dog doesn't think you are a weird dog. They know you are human. But here is the beautiful part to them. That distinction doesn't make you an outsider. In a dog's worldview, they don't categorize things as my species versus your species. They categorize the world into safe/family and stranger/threat. You might not be a canine, but you are pack. And in their coordinate system, being pack is far more important than being the same species. They didn't choose you because they were confused. They chose you because they love humans. 2. Does she recognize you specifically by your face? You might think, of course she knows it's me. But the science behind how she knows it is incredible. Your dog can pick your face out of a lineup of thousands of strangers in a fraction of a second. MRI scans of canine brains have shown that when a dog sees their owner's face, a specific reward center in the brain lights up like a Christmas tree. This area remains relatively dim when they see strangers or even other dogs. Your dog has memorized every single detail of your face. They know the map of your wrinkles, the specific shape of your eyes, the curve of your lips. They notice things you might not even notice in the mirror, like when you get a slight tan or a new haircut or put on glasses. Sure, if you walk in wearing a giant hat and sunglasses, they might hesitate for a split second, but that recognition software in their brain adapts almost instantly. But here is a really cool detail. When a dog looks at you, have you ever noticed they often shift their gaze? Research suggests dogs have a left gaze bias when looking at humans. They tend to look towards the right side of your face, which is in their left field of vision first. Why? Because in humans, emotions are often expressed more accurately on the right side of the face, in the dog's right brain hemisphere, which processes emotions, controls that left visual field. They don't do this with other dogs. They only do this with humans. They are literally scanning your face for emotional data in a way they don't do for anyone else. 3. Does she actually understand your facial expressions? You don't need to say a word for your dog to know how you are feeling. Your pet can distinguish between at least 6 basic human emotions just by looking at your face: joy, sadness, anger, fear, surprise, and disgust. They can read you instantly. They know you are angry before you even raise your voice or stand up. They see the tiny tension in your jaw or the way your eyes narrow. Raised eyebrows signal interest to them. Compressed lips signal disapproval. A squint can mean suspicion. They react to these micro expressions faster than you even realize you are making them. And here's the kicker: you cannot lie to them. If you are having a terrible day, but you plaster a fake smile on your face to greet your dog they aren't bought, they know the truth. A fake smile involves the mouth, but rarely reaches the eyes. And dogs are experts at spotting that incongruence. They learned to do this over thousands of years for survival. Understanding the human's mood meant knowing when it was safe to approach for food and when it was better to hide. Today, they use that skill to comfort you. They are literally looking past your mask and seeing your soul. 4. Can she really hear the difference between your voice and others? Your voice is as unique to your dog as a fingerprint. Even if you are in a crowded room or speaking over a grainy phone connection, your dog can identify you among hundreds of other voices. The canine brain allocates specific resources just to process your specific vocal patterns. They aren't just hearing sound. They are analyzing pitch, timbre, and rhythm. They have memorized the unique frequency of your laugh and the specific drop in your tone when you are tired. They can tell your mood just by the vibration of your hello. A high-energy voice in the morning means walk. A low, slow, groggy voice means cuddle on the sofa. Interestingly, studies show that dogs actually prefer what scientists call dog-directed speech. You know that high-pitched, silly baby voice we all use, "Who's a good boy?" We feel silly doing it, but science says we should keep doing it. Dogs know that specific tone is meant for them, and it activates their attention centers more than normal adult conversation. They can even hear the difference between a recording of you and you speaking live. They hear the breath, the heartbeat, the tiny pauses that a microphone might smooth over. 5. Does she smell your unique scent? To a dog, you are not just a visual object. You are a walking, breathing cloud of complex data. You smell like a universe to them. While you might just smell clean or sweaty to another human, to your dog, your scent is composed of over 500 distinct chemical components that they can analyze individually. Everything you do is recorded in your scent. What you ate for lunch, where you walked, who you hugged, and how stressed you are, it's all there in the chemical trail you leave behind. A dog can recognize their owner by scent alone, even if the owner has been gone for a week. And don't think your expensive perfume or deodorant fools them. To a dog, artificial scents are just a top layer. They can smell right through your Chanel No. 5 or your Old Spice to get to the biological reality of you underneath. It's your unique identifier. They know the scent of your happiness, your fear, and even your illness. In fact, changes in your body odor can alert them to health issues long before you feel any symptoms, which is how some dogs can detect cancer, diabetes, or impending seizures just by sniffing the air around you. 6. Does she remember you when you leave? There is a persistent myth that dogs have the memory of a goldfish, that once you walk out the door, they forget you exist within 5 minutes. This is completely false. Your dog remembers you every single second you are gone. In fact, They have a concept of time passing. Research has shown that dogs react differently to an owner who has been gone for 30 minutes versus an owner who has been gone for 2 hours. The greeting is far more enthusiastic after the longer separation, which proves they understand the magnitude of the time apart. Their memory of you is stored in their long-term banks. We have seen incredible videos of dogs recognizing soldiers returning from deployment after years away. It's instant. The smell, the voice, the gait, it's all locked away in their heart. They don't just sit there waiting for the food guy to come back. They are actively missing you. They are recalling memories of playing fetch, of the way you scratch behind their ears, of sleeping at your feet. Science has even looked at the brain waves of sleeping dogs and found that they likely dream about their owners. You are the star of their waking life and their sleeping life. 7. Does she know when you are faking it? We touched on this with facial expressions, but it goes deeper. You cannot gaslight a dog. If you are trying to act brave in a scary situation to calm your dog down, but your insides are screaming with terror, your dog knows you are terrified. They are cross-referencing data points. They hear the tremor in your voice. They see the micro twitch in your eye. And most importantly, they smell the cortisol and adrenaline spiking in your sweat. If your body language says fear, but your voice says it's okay, the dog will believe the body language and the scent every time. They trust their sensors more than your acting skills. This is why, if you don't like a guest, but pretend to be nice, your dog might growl or act cold toward that person. They are reflecting your true internal state. They are your emotional mirror. You can lie to your boss, you can lie to your spouse, but you cannot lie to your dog. 8. Does she think you are the alpha? This is one of the biggest misunderstandings in the dog world. For a long time, we were told we had to be the alpha and dominate our dogs because that's how wolf packs work. But modern science has largely debunked the old alpha wolf theory, even for wolves. Your dog does not view you as a dictator or a dominant rival that needs to be submitted to. They view you as a resource controller and a partner. You are the one who has the thumbs. You control the door, the food bag, and the toys. This makes you the leader, yes, but more like a parent or a guide than a military commander. They listen to you, not because they fear you, hopefully, but because they want to maintain a harmonious relationship with the provider of all good things. It's a cooperative alliance. The hierarchy in a human-dog family is usually fluid. Sometimes you lead the walk. Sometimes you let them sniff and lead you. Respect is the currency here, not dominance. A dog that respects you will listen far better than a dog that is terrified of you. 9. Does she see you in color? How do you actually look to your dog? Many people still think dogs see in black and white like an old TV show. That's not true. Dogs do see color, but their spectrum is different from ours. Shutterstock. Explore humans are trichromatic. We see red, blue, green. Dogs are dichromatic. They see the world in shades of blue and yellow. They are red-green colorblind. This means that when you wear a bright red shirt to your dog, it looks like a muddy brownish yellow. If you are standing on green grass, you might blend in more than you think. However, they see blue incredibly well. If you wear blue jeans, that stands out vividly to them. So while your face might look a bit different in color to them than it does in the mirror, they make up for the lack of color with other superpowers. They see movement much better than we do. You might be standing still in a field and a person next to you waves. Your dog will lock onto that motion instantly. They traded some color vision for better night vision and motion detection, which makes sense for a hunter. 10. Does she consider you part of her pack? This is the heartwarming part. To your dog, you aren't just a utility. You are family, biological family. When a dog interacts with a human, they love their brain releases oxytocin. This is the bonding hormone. It's the same hormone that floods a mother dog's brain when she nurses her puppies. This means that your dog literally loves you with the same chemical intensity that they would love their own offspring or parents. To a dog, the concept of pack isn't rigid. It's flexible. It can include other dogs, humans, maybe even the family cat, if they get along. Being part of their pack is the highest honor. It means they will share their food with you, sometimes sleep pressed up against you, and if necessary, put themselves in harm's way to protect you. They didn't settle for you. They chose you. 11. Can she feel when you are sick? Your dog is a walking, barking diagnostic machine. We mentioned scent earlier, but the precision is frightening. Your dog knows you are getting sick hours, sometimes days before you feel the first symptom. When your body fights a virus or an infection, your body chemistry changes. This alters your scent in a way that is subtle to humans, but screamingly loud to dogs. You might notice your dog becoming clingy, or acting strange, nudging where it hurts, or just staring at you with worry. They smell the inflammation. They smell the spike in white blood cells. There are countless documented cases of dogs obsessively sniffing a mole on their owner's skin that turned out to be melanoma, or warning owners of a migraine or a drop in blood sugar before it happens. They are monitoring your vitals 24/7, completely for free, just because they care. 12. Does she actually understand your words? We tend to think dogs just hear blah, blah, blah treat. But the average dog has the vocabulary of a 2-year-old human child. They understand about 165 words and gestures. Super dogs like border collies have been shown to learn over 1,000 specific names for toys. But it's not just commands like sit or stay. They learn the names of objects, people, and places. If you say grandma or park, they know exactly what those sound waves represent. And remember that brain scan research. It proved that dogs process language similarly to us. The left hemisphere processes the meaning of the word, while the right hemisphere processes the intonation. So if you say, "You are a bad boy," in a super happy voice, they might be confused. They hear the happy tone, but they recognize the negative word. They are constantly trying to decode our language. The more you talk to your dog, the smarter they get. They are lifelong language learners. 13. Does she miss you? Or just the food cynics love to say, the dog only likes you because you feed it? Science says the cynics are wrong. Your dog experiences separation anxiety because they crave social contact with you, not just resources. In behavioral experiments where dogs were given a choice between food and their owner, the majority of dogs went to their owner first. They valued the social interaction and the praise more than the snack. When you leave the spike in their cortisol, stress isn't because they are worried about starvation. It's because they are worried about isolation from their loved one. The depression dogs feel during long separations is real. It is an emotional ache. They love you more than they love dinner. And for a food-motivated animal, like a dog, that is saying a lot. 14. How does she know when you are coming home? This is one of the spookiest and most amazing things about dogs. You might notice that your dog goes to the window or the door 10 or 15 minutes before you actually arrive. How you didn't text them? There are a few theories. One is that they have incredible hearing and can distinguish the specific sound of your car's engine from blocks away. Another fascinating theory is the scent clock. When you leave the house in the morning, your scent is strong. As the day goes on, your scent fades at a consistent rate. Your dog might have learned that when your smell drops to a specific concentration level, that is usually when the door opens and you return. They are literally telling time with their nose. Then there is the theory of Rupert Sheldrake, a biologist, who suggests there might be a connection we don't fully understand, yet a sort of bond that transcends distance. Whatever the mechanism, your dog is anticipating your return long before you put your key in the lock. 15. If she had to choose, would she pick you? We touched on this, but let's hammer it home. Neuroimaging studies led by Dr. Gregory Burns involved training dogs to go into MRI machines awake. They showed the dog signals for food and signals for owner praise. For many of the dogs, the reward centers of the brain lit up more for the owner's praise than for the hot dog. This provides hard biological evidence that for many dogs, social reward, your smile, your voice, your touch, is the ultimate currency. They will work for food, but they live for you. In a critical situation, if they were scared or hurt, they wouldn't run to the food bowl. They would run to your legs. That preference for you over basic survival needs is the definition of love. 16. How do you actually appear to them? Finally, let's try to visualize how your dog sees you. If we could look through their eyes and nose, what would we see? You wouldn't just be a visual figure. You would be a glowing, three-dimensional cloud of sensory information. Imagine your body is the center, but surrounding you is a large aura of scent that tells them everything about your past 24 hours. They see your face perhaps a bit blurry and tinted in blue and yellow, but that visual is just the anchor. Around you, they perceive the invisible trails of where you have been. They see the color of your emotions. The scent of your stress might look dark and sharp to them, while the scent of your love and relaxation smells warm and bright. They hear the rhythm of your heart like a drum, and the pattern of your breath like the wind. To your dog, you are a luminous being of energy, smell, and sound. You are fascinating. You are complex. And you are the center of their universe. They don't just see a human. They see their whole world. And that is a beautiful thing. I want to do something to honor these incredible creatures who know us better than we know ourselves. Go down to the comments right now and type your dog's name. Let's build a tribute to the best friends we will ever have. I'll be reading them. Thanks for watching.